What is up, everybody? It is Og here, back with another video, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at how to do the ZG 11 pack pool, so that's the most packs you can pull with no epic mount, no noggenfoggers, and no lips. And so there's been a couple videos that have come out showing how to do the no lip pool and things like that, and so shout out to them for doing those as well. But I wanted to provide my perspective, and a lot of people asked me to do it in stream. So the other day, I recorded it live on stream and did the run with my fresh level 60. So this level 60, as you will see, has like no gear. Like fresh level 60, just pure off the auction house gear, just to show that you really don't need a ton of gear for this and everything like that. And what I did was I used a total of, I think, 3 light feathers, but you could even do it with 2 light feathers per run, making the actual mats that you need to have for these runs incredibly cheap. This allows you to do this at level 58 to 60, or also to sell runs as soon as you hit 60, so you can work towards your epic mount to make these runs even easier. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to be going over everything that you need to do to be able to get this down yourself. I'm going to be showing you the exact spots. If you want to see all this live on Twitch, and if you want to ask any questions to me, please feel free. Check out the Twitch link down below. Ask me any questions you have. Let's jump into it. So for those of you who are new to these farms, the ZG pool is actually all about timing. So you can see here that I only have like 5,600 mana. I don't have much mana at all. But it's all about timing. As soon as you get in the instance, you want to get ready to pool. And so what you're going to see here is that I pop a light feather. You do not need to pop this light feather, but it does help. But the goal here is to actually pool these 2 axe throwers. So the safest spot that you can be in is over in that waterfall that I just showed there just for half a second right here. And so over in this waterfall, your boosties can sit on the middle of this middle rock, and they won't get aggro the entire time. So they just go up there and sit there. But in order for them to get there, you have to pull these 2 axe throwers. Now, if the boosties are level 55, they can chill in this other safe spot over here. Or if they're at least level 51, they could also go here. But sometimes those don't work perfectly depending on where you kill the mobs on the bridge. So the safest safe spot to use is this waterfall. And just use these as kind of like a contingency plan. So what I do is I pop a light feather, I aggro these 2, and then I actually just jump off here. So you can see me just jumping off into the water. The axe throwers will follow me, and as soon as the axe throwers leave that location, your boosties can then go to the middle of the waterfall and chill up there. Now, up here, we obviously have this croc pack on the right, but what you need to do is you need to jump up on this little space over here, and you actually won't pull the crocs. It's okay if you do pull the crocs. If you pull the crocs, just nova them, whatever you need to do to get to the reset spot over here and get them reset. But between this large tree and this bamboo is actually a reset spot if you are off the ground. So you'll see here, I blink ahead, I wait there, and then I jump up. And so you'll see that I'm off the ground right here, a couple feet. It doesn't matter if you're like right off the ground. The mobs will then stop moving towards you and eventually reset. So your boosties have about 30 seconds to get to their reset spot. But you can see here that they reset, so everything's going to be running back now. So make sure your boosties are paying attention, and they get to the spot, and then you're good to go. Now the goal here is to use no noggenfoggers. So noggenfoggers are great. They're great because, you know, they can give you a 2-minute slow, but they also have some detriments. Mainly the fact that it could take, 50 noggenfogger tries to get a slow. It's all RNG, and unfortunately the slow doesn't seem to pop up as much as the skeleton or the shrink. And so some people have had so many noggenfoggers that they've actually had to wait the entire time before the Berserker went back, and then they had to wait again. So this is a way to do it with just the light feathers, and that's also clearing up a ton of bag space. So you can have some more bank space or bag space. But what you do here is you run along this top edge, you blink ahead of the Soul Flare and Son of a Car, and then you nova them. So quick point about these mobs. The Son of a Car run about twice as fast as you. The Soul Flare, though, runs about the same speed, maybe like 10% faster than you. So the Soul Flare isn't that big of a deal if you don't get him novad, but the Sons of a Car will kill you if you do not get them novad. But as long as you blink ahead, you'll aggro, you run for another like 2 paces, and then you nova. You'll be able to nova all 3 of these. And then what actually happens is once you jump off this far spot, they have no pathway to get to you within a reasonable amount of distance, and so it's an evade spot. So you'll aggro this Hooktooth Frenzy, but then you just run up this mountain, and all the mobs are going to reset. You're now looking for the Berserker position. So the Berserker, since you took a little bit longer than using the epic mount strat and going from the side, will probably have just passed the perfect spot to be at. But you're fine because you don't need to worry about trying to get a noggenfogger proc now. All you need to do is just get up mana and then get ready for the pool. So get full mana, get full shields, and then we're going to start the pool. Don't put on a light feather or anything like that. Now these 2 croc packs down here, the way that you have to pull them is actually very precise. And so what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, you're going to aggro them with proximity range, but then you're actually just going to hug this water. You don't want to go in the water because you could get dismounted or get hit by the fish or something like that. Hug right along the water. What that's going to do is it's going to cause these crocs to also hug the water to try to take the most direct point. And then when you turn around, the crocs are actually going to be on the lower part of this kind of hill, allowing you to escape past the crocs. So here we go, hug the water, aggro this group proximity, and you can see that the crocs are on the lower part, allowing me to not get hit by any of the crocs as I go up. Even if you take a couple hits, it's perfectly fine. Your goal is to have some semblance of a shield remaining. So we come up here, you're a little bit slower because you're not on epic mount, so they're going to be pretty close behind you, but you wait just a little bit, let the crocs catch up, and then you're going to start this wide pool. Now when you come into this room, what you want to do is you want to take a wide pool before you aggro this tiger. Reason being, you're not going to be as fast to get over to the corner tigers, and so what we're actually going to do is we're kind of going to make like a W. So we're going to take a wide pool, aggro this tiger, and then we're going to bow out, grab this tiger, and as soon as that tiger aggros, you beeline to this corner, and you hug this outside. Now, when you go for a reset, you could potentially have a Berserker there. Be careful when you reset to check the Berserker's position to make sure that you don't have him there. Or not reset, but when you come into the instance again without it being a fresh instance. As long as it's a fresh instance, the Berserker will not be coming this way, and you'll be safe. Once we aggro up those people, though, we're just going to jump off, and here's where we're actually going to use our first light feather. So we jump towards this landmass, use our light feather. We can reapply our shields as we go down, but then you want to jump out of the water. Do not blink out of the water. We're going to need our blink in just a second. Come over here, and we're going to go to the second mound. So here's the first mound, this second mound, and then you're going to jump right into the water. You're going to target this croc, blink across, and counterspell at the same time. Your counterspell will go off mid-blink, allowing you to get the counterspell on him with plenty of time. If you want to use a jump turn and cold there to slow him, you can. Otherwise, just jump Nova, and he'll probably be caught up enough where you can get the jump Nova. You're now hugging the wall, and you can see that the mobs are pretty close to us, so it's pretty precise that you have to be, but you just jump off, blink, and then get those mobs going forward. Now, a lot of people have questions about this tree and this route and what you actually have to do for this, and so I want to kind of point out exactly what I'm doing here. So this little route you want to run up first. Now, this route, what happens is if you run up this, the actual mobs themselves are also going to run up this route, giving you a couple seconds because they're going to go up and then come back down and then go over. Then as far as the blink location, what you actually want to do, you can kind of see that this slopes down and then kind of slopes more. You want to blink pretty much right below this first little point down. Or if you take this corner spot and you just go straight spot down, you need to blink that far to the right. If you blink too far to the left, you're going to get stuck in the tree. Or if you blink on the right, you might not blink through the tree. So just blink kind of right there on that section anywhere around this general area, and you'll be able to blink through the tree and be perfectly fine. Once you blink through the tree, you need to spam your spacebar and get out of there, and then actually hug the right side. And so if you don't hug the right side, and if you go straight over to the left for these crocs, what's actually going to happen is that the mobs in the back of here are going to pull this Berserker, and you're going to die. Way to prevent that is to hug the right side, run up kind of the hill, and then go over and pull the furthest most croc with a counterspell. You can do a jump turn, cone of cold on these mobs if you need to, if they get too close. But then you come over here. You can either step down to this first ledge and then step down to the bottom, or just jump off. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. A little bit of health isn't going to cause you a big deal. But don't pop a slow feather. Jump into the water. If you need to use a light feather, if you're still getting used to it, go for it. But you go into the water, let the crocs catch up a little bit in the water before you go up top. And then you run up top and you actually go over to this spot over on the left. Now what this does is it causes these entire packs to actually hug the left side of the mountain and to run straight up the mountain. If we were to just veer straight around, they're going to take a wide route and they're kind of going to be hugging the mountain and be close to us. And so we want to hug the left side up here, forcing them to come all the way up here before we cut across. And then what we do is we actually blink to gain distance, but now you can see that they're all up on the mountainside, and so they're actually be far away from us. Where they're going to pop a slow fall, we're going to run around this bamboo tree, run right around this bamboo tree, and then slow fall jump into the water. Now you can see that there's a lot of mobs behind us, but they are a good amount of distance behind us. If you want to, right here, if you're an engineer, you can throw an iron grenade right here on this wall, and it'll actually stun them, giving you additional distance to separate. But you can see that they're pretty much all stacked up right on this hill, and you have plenty of distance. You're going to wait until that first kind of fish gets to you, and then blink. I blinked early there, but that's fine. And then Nova the fish if you need to once they hit you. If you have plenty of shields, you don't really need to worry about it too much. jump back over the tree. Again, as I showed there, you could just jump over it as well. You don't need to blink through it. And then we're going to be veering over to this next kind of pathway over here. What you want to do with this water is you want to jump twice in the water and then blink. So jump into the water, jump again. That's going to allow the fish to get close to you, but then you blink to stay away from the fish. You can face pull these or fool them with a fire blast, but then you want to be checking for this axe thrower location. So bring lips with you just in case they're in a bad spot, but as long as you take your time getting to the spot and you wait for the Berserker to go a little bit past the starting point, these axe throwers will 99% of the time be here or be a little bit further, and so you're not going to have to worry about them. These axe thrower pats, if you were to pull these packs up onto this bridge and they're back on the bridge, they will kill you. You won't have a shot of doing this pull. But as long as they're far enough, and this is pretty much like the limit of their far enough, you can run up onto the actual bridge, and then you can see that all the mobs follow us up on the bridge. We run around this house right here, and as soon as we get around this house, we're going to pop a light feather, jump up onto this root, jump over the side, and then we're going to see that we are now causing all the mobs behind us to go ahead and come down the hill and come down here, and we won't actually need to use a lip. We're going to counterspell this group on the right, blink across, and Nova this group, giving us 1, separation from the mobs, but 2, allowing all these mobs that would have been right on top of us to be Nova'd. And now you can see that we have all the mobs trailing behind us. We did not need to use a lip, and we are good to go with the pool. We only had to use 2 light feathers. We used 1 just at the start extra, but the only light feathers that we had to do were after we pulled the actual tigers and then jumping off after the last pack of crocs on the other side, jumping back over to the actual kind of tree for the last loop. So now we come onto the bridge, and now it's the kill phase. You can see that I don't have much mana because, well, I have 5,500 mana or something like that in the first place, but also because this does require the need for a little bit more kind of colds, a little bit more blinks and things like that because we aren't using an epic mount, so you will have less mana. So it comes down to being very conservative with the actual mana that you use when doing the kill. So let's go over how to do the actual kill, and let's focus on the jumps, and then let's focus on how to do the kill itself. So as far as jumping goes, what you want to do is you want to come to this middle kind of dead zone space. You want to be standing on this middle slit or somewhere in this middle area, and you want to turn your camera about 50 degrees to the right. So you can see here that I'm not facing due north. I'm facing a little bit to the right. What that does is it allows you to strafe and jump at the same time and jump right back onto the top of the rope. So you're going to see here that when I jump up, we just strafe and jump at the same time, jump right back up to the rope. Now, this strategy was originally implemented to help females with their jump because they had troubles with the RP jump itself on the side here that we originally showed in a lot of our videos. But I've now kind of adopted this for every single toon just because it makes it actually a lot easier. But stand in the middle, right in the middle of this, turn 50 degrees to the right, strafe and jump at the same time. So it's either going to be A and spacebar or Q and spacebar up onto the bridge. Now, you might see that we killed some cubs. So let's talk about the actual strategy for killing these mobs. There is going to be anywhere between 4 and 6 cubs that you're going to pull during the pool. These cubs, what they actually do is when they get to low health, I think it's like 20% or 25%, they run away and try to get help. However, if they get hit by a tick of blizzard, they will not be able to get away and they're going to rejoin the rest of their pack. And they just won't run anymore. So as long as you keep them in combat, they are not going to go away. So the way to handle that is that you're going to be doing as many blizzards as possible and as many max rank blizzards off the bat to kill the crocs as quickly as possible. And so what you're going to see here, I'm going to rewind just a little bit. You're going to see that we have some cubs up right here. So we still have the cubs up. And what I'm doing is I'm constantly keeping blizzard activated. And I'm doing max rank blizzard to try to get down these cubs. We're starting to kill the cubs and you don't even see them leave the pack. But the reason why is that they are now activated with another blizzard. And so you can actually see here one little cub straggler right here. But you can see that because we blizzard, even though he's at pretty much no health and he's going to die right after this, he did not go to the other packs because we kept blizzard. Now, if they were to run through the packs, if you didn't have blizzard up at the perfect time or something like that when they ran away, and they did start running back, Nova them, turn around, Kona Cold them, Fire Blast them, something. Kill them before they get behind you, because what they're going to do is they're going to run back up this rope, they're going to aggro more packs, and you're going to die. So the cubs are the biggest part that you have to handle with. Outside of that, the actual kill itself, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be toggling between rank 1 blizzard and max rank blizzard. So you're going to be using max strength blizzard when you get a clear casting proc or when all of the tigers are stacked up, or the crocs. But what you're going to notice is that occasionally we have a front runner. And so what happens is that you can see this one mob have a little bit less of a time, and he actually gets away from the blizzard and runs forward. The blizzard has a 1 second delay where it's actually not going off. This allows the mobs, if they don't have a full fresh blizzard, to get away. So the way that you handle that is you put a rank 1 blizzard kind of at the front of the mobs. This will allow that blizzard, or that mob that's kind of front running right there, to run through and get to the back part and then come back down. He'll run through again, but then you'll have a rank 1 blizzard that catches him and he actually groups up with the rest of the pack. Then you cancel that blizzard, you jump back up now that he's stacked up, and you go right back into another blizzard. What's going to happen with that is because he's already stacked up, he's going to have 4 seconds left on blizzard, so that when you switch the location, he is going to be perfectly stacked up and you're going to be good to go. So to repeat that, rank 1 blizzard, as they're coming down, rank 1 blizzard ahead of the mobs. This is going to allow the crocs to kind of group up with each other. And I'll just go back earlier in the pool to actually show it too. So here we're at 100%. We have this front running croc. I'm going to rank 1 blizzard high up, let the crocs kind of stack up. And then as soon as they stack up, I'm going to come back down even before blizzard's done, go right back into a blizzard. And you can see them kind of being stacked now. They're still a front runner mob, but now they're in a decent stack where we can kind of focus on it. But again, you see this one tick a blizzard, he's going to run forward, but he just gets caught with the rest of the mobs. At this point, they're really separated, so I'm trying to kill the cubs first, and I'm focusing on the cubs. But if the cubs were dead, what I actually would be doing is using a rank 1 blizzard to try to stack up those crocs. It doesn't matter if the rank 1 blizzard goes the full time because it doesn't cost much mana, but what matters is that you get the entire pack stuck together in a very uniform structure. If they do that, then they're all going to sit in your blizzard, and you're going to be able to use max strength blizzard. Once you do get to about 30 to 40% mana left, though, you do want to switch over into rank 1 blizzards. Just kind of watch your pots. I recommend bringing some mana pots just in case. I recommend having at least your mana ruby and your mana citrine made. Maybe even have a 3rd crystal made, just so you have plenty of mana. If you do have the robe of the archmage, that's a great option. And another great option is the fire ruby. The fire ruby is from the Sunken Temple quest at level 50, and that gives you anywhere between 1 to 500 mana every 3 minutes. So you can actually even use that during the pool itself, just to have like a passive kind of mana regen. So that's a great option for you as well. But going back and forth, you can see that we now have these croc packs stacked, and so we can keep them in the blizzard the entire time. Even this one has 1 second left, but he's going to get out with just a second left, and then he just gets right back into the stack. And so as long as you have them in a great stack, you can keep on using max rank. But if you don't have them stacked up like this, definitely use rank 1 because you're just going to be wasting mana. And then what you're going to find at the end of the fight is that there's going to be a croc with like 3,000 life left when all the other ones are dead. And you're going to be sitting there being like, all right, now I got to figure out how to handle these last guys. And if there's a few of them that did that, you can't just frostbolt it down because that's a few crocs, so you're not going to be able to just frostbolt and manage the entire time. So definitely focus on kind of managing where the mobs are going. If you don't have a lot of mana, definitely be as mana conservative as possible. Watch your cooldowns. You always want to keep a blizzard going. If you stop using blizzard and you just jump back and forth for like 30 seconds, the people in the group are actually not going to get much XP because the mob's health are going to be low. So you want to make sure that you're being as mana conservative as possible, and then you'll be able to get it down. And so this is how you can do it with no epic mount, no noggenfoggers, no lips, just a couple light feathers, so the actual costs are going to be really low. I recommend, if you want to get max XP for your party, only bring 1 person with you. Any additional people is going to decrease the amount of experience that they get. If you're level 58, just be by yourself. And then if you bring more people, start scaling down the costs because they're going to get less experience. So if you're just bringing 1 person along, it obviously depends on your server, but a common price could be 25 gold. If you have 2 people, maybe you're charging anywhere between 15 and 20. And then if you go all the way up to 4 people that you're bringing along, so yourself plus 4, then you really don't want to be charging any more than between 10 and 15 gold, depending on your server. Just because anything more and it's not worth the XP for those people. And you, at the end of the day, they're, coming with you and providing you some income. You're also getting bijous, you're also getting drops. They have the potential for cloud keepers, which I haven't seen, but hopefully this helps you guys out with your strategy. So just to show the actual gear and the talent build that I was running, here is the talent build. I'll have it linked down below. This is not optimized for ZG. This is a comprehensive talent build that I use for ZG, SM, Mara, and you don't need to respec. And so this is a comprehensive build. You could definitely use this and you won't have to respec. You could do all the different boosts. However, if you do want to go ZG specific, you will have to change up things a bit. Primarily what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take it out of magic absorption, and you're actually going to have to go 5 out of 5 in a clear casting. You're going to have to work your way down into arcane meditation and get rid of shatter. You don't really need shatter for the ZG pool, and so I'll link down a spec below that you guys can actually copy. But basically the idea is you don't really need shatter because you're not going to be focusing on shatter, you're going to be focusing on blizzard, and so you want to work your way down to arcane meditation. This is going to allow more mana to regen while you're actually doing the pool. And make sure also that you're using a rank 1 mage armor. So I forgot to point this out in the video, sorry about that, but basically after you aggro up all the mobs when you're running to the bridge, swap over to rank 1 mage armor. The reason why you want to swap over to rank 1 mage armor and not max rank is because it saves you mana cost. So max rank is 490, rank 1 is 270, that's 220 mana you're saving, and there is no difference. If you look at the actual tooltip of them, both allow you to regen 30% of your mana while casting. The only difference is an extra 10 resistance, but you're not resisting anything with these mobs, so it doesn't matter. As far as the gear goes, you can see my gear right here. We're pretty much just gear off the auction house. Actually, I think everything is pretty much gear off the auction house. I have the DM trinket. This is an option if you guys want. You can go get the DM trinket. It's 8 mana per 5. This is at a SM. Robes of the Insight are nice. I recommend getting these if you want to splurge a little bit. If you don't, though, Robe of the Archmage is going to be just as good, if not better. But you don't need a ton of gear to do this farm. People do it naked sometimes just for fun. The important thing is the actual execution. So hopefully that guide helped you. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment below to let me know so. And if you guys have any other ideas for any other videos, please let me know in the comments below. Also check out the description for the Twitch where I do all this live, and also for my Twitter and Discord where you guys can be notified of any future updates and when I'm going to go live on stream. So I'll see you guys in the next video.